guys, my name's Fred and welcome to Nick's World. I've already said Fred. Well, I'm Billy. Oh, no. Well, fucking said Billy too. Well, I'm Jeff. No, I've said them all. So that makes me Gazza today. So for Halloween I wanted to do something, and I showed you Geelong Jail in my last video, but I thought we could step it up a bit. So we went to Aradale Insane Asylum. Now, it's Australia's most haunted building. Now, Aradale stretches over 150 acres. Now, that's massive. So because it was dark, a few of the photos turned out blurry and just you couldn't really see much. So we did get some photos off the internet just to show you guys what it looks like and what it is about. Alright, so we got to the front of the entrance and already I started to feel anxious, like my heart was pounding, and the feelings just intensified as we were walking up. So as we walked through the door, I immediately got a feeling of sadness, anger, confusion, and other little emotions, but the three big ones were sadness, confusion, and anger. Now, it affected me the whole time we were there, up until we actually got to the service station outside of Ararat. So when we got in, we were situated in a waiting area with a lot of things from the era where the lunatic asylum were in operation. As you can see on this photo, there's a straitjacket. Now, a lot of the patients were actually put in the straitjacket for most of their days. They were chucked in the straitjacket and thrown in a padded cell. Now, can you imagine what it's like to be like this in a padded cell for a day, 2 days, a week? It would be enough to drive someone insane. A lot of these patients weren't actually insane in today's standards. Some had postnatal depression, some were too drunk, and some of the women that were there were actually thrown in by their partners, because all you needed to get to be admitted into Aradale was 2 signatures. Now, back in the day, the signatures had to come from someone that contributes to the community, like a butcher or a doctor. Now, if you were fed up with your wife or partner, you could go down to the butcher and say he's a good mate of yours and goes, look, I want to get rid of my wife. Just sign here. Sweet, no worries. Go down to the doctor. My wife's nuts. Yeah, no worries. Sign this away. Ship her off to Aradale. Don't have to worry about her anymore. So as you can imagine, there was a lot of women that were there, and men. I'm not discriminating, but that really shouldn't have been there. So now that the tour had begun, we started walking through the administration office. So we're heading out to the courtyard. Now, my level of confusion was insane, where I would have small glimpses of where am I. I'd even get vertigo through this tour.
They emptied out the last rooms, the last staff went, and the last staff members turned off the lights. But still, at the same time, every night they started to hear crying and wailing coming from on top of the hill. Even though there was nobody here and this place was completely abandoned, they could still hear all the lunatics crying and screaming for help.
So then we headed towards the courtyard, towards the women's section. As you can see by the photo, how it's just all blurry. This is all I got from when I was taking photos. This was actually the best photo I got of this section, because I think in my own way that the clouds are all these spirits that can't leave because of violent deaths, unfinished business, and it's quite daunting when you look at the photo for a while and you give it have a look at it. Pause the video if you need to, and go over it. You might see a few faces in the mist.
Now you see, Aradale is based on the Kirkbride plan, where all the bad lunatics were at the back of the asylum, and all the good lunatics were at the front of the asylum. So right now we're sitting in the front of the women's ward. Now you see, the thing is, you may think that women, how could a woman be violent? And like, she can't build a lot of muscle, you know, they're quite delicate flowers, right? But you see, the thing is, women have teeth. We can bite you. Women also have nails. We can scratch your eyes out. Which is something that did happen here at the asylum. So maybe your mad old aunt having a bit of a hard time. You don't want to have to keep paying for her food. You send her to Aradale. She goes to the front of the asylum. But you see, perhaps, what was her name? Shannon. You see, Shannon's going a bit mad. She's only with black people. So she's going to go to the back of the asylum, you see, because she's vicious. Now, although we do have these bad moments here, we do see an apparition of a nurse. Now, this nurse is known as Nurse Carey. She's a very calm and collected nurse. She's a very friendly nurse, which is quite rare for the times because not a lot of nurses were friendly. You see, it was said that Nurse Carey had a voice that was so soothing that she could almost put any lunatic to sleep without the need for restraints. But you see, that doesn't exactly stop anything bad happening on this tour. About a month or two ago on one of my tours, there was a lady exited and she had a big welt across her chest. And she certainly didn't have that when we started the tour, but it was certainly there at the end of the tour, and she had not done that to herself. So, who's going to be at the back? Whoever's at the back, if you feel a touch on your shoulder, don't turn around.
You stay there.
Really?
Keep the boys at the back.
Now, this here is one of the rooms. How luxurious. It is actually 30 centimetres larger than a prison cell. Quite the luxury, right? Behind me, original doors. Now, obviously, they are quite thick, very hard to break your way out of. And here is a very small window. So all you can see in, but you can't really punch your way out. If you did, however, punch your way out, it was metal reinforced. So you can't get out of that. The window behind you is also metal reinforced. Now, in the... Sorry, I heard footsteps. Now, in the warmer months, the window could be open to about half a head because we can't have our lunatics escaping now, can we? In the cooler months, we have a vent. Now, that vent leads to a fire, just one single fire in the courtyard. The warm air would go up and travel through all the vents, blowing out warm air. But you see, heat rises. So although it's going to be very nice and warm up there, down here below our feet is not going to be that nice at all. Now, below my feet, this is Putting. Very cute name, you can call your wife that when you get home. But the meaning behind it is not so cute. You see, this is a foot of clay designed to muffle the screams of the ladies. You see, the nurses were actually stationed underneath here, and this is where they would sleep. But it got too much for some of the nurses, and one nurse actually committed suicide. So then they changed, and now they've went down the hill. Now, as you can see, on the ground here is an outline of a bed. That meant this lunatic here was actually trusted because they got furniture. Now, the more that we go down the asylum, these begin to be a little less visible and end up being none on the floor at all. Because that meant that they were quite vicious lunatics. They didn't get furniture. Now, if you didn't have a bed, you would have a hessian bag full of hay, changed once or twice a week, depending if you could go to the toilet by yourself or not. But we did actually practice one thing here. It was called bagging. You see, you were a bit of a violent lunatic. You were known for being a bit characteristically biting people. What they would do is they'll cuff your wrists together to your waist, they'll cuff your feet together at your ankles, and they'll stitch you into a Hessian bag all the way up to your neck. And that is just where you would stay for, days, weeks, months if you were bad. The thing about that is that was only ever practiced in Victoria. How eventful, right?
Is that it again?
Now, exactly now, when we walked through, we had to go through a lot of doors. Now, these doors have to have a lot of keys. Now, these nurses, reception have all these keys. So, your patient is playing on a little bit, you get your keys, and you dump them. You see, we weren't very well trained. Okay. So, we basically had to do anything we could to keep all the lunatics quiet. And see, the thing was, there was a nurse station there, so there was 3 beds here, 3 beds here, 3 beds here, so it was quite full. And to say 30, 40 patients, there was 1 nurse. So exactly who could end up here? Well, anyone who's not classed as normal. I'm mad, you're mad, you're mad, here's the Cheshire Cat. But what exactly is mad? You see, anyone who may enjoy sex, so a prostitute, lesbians, they end up here. But you see, perhaps you're not washing the dishes correctly, or your shirts aren't clean enough for your husband. He can take a piece of paper down to the butcher and say, can you please put your signature here to declare that my wife is insane? You get 2 signatures to get in. Anyone who was very beneficial to the community, so a butcher, a pharmacist, a doctor, they could all sign your life or your life away. Now, there was some people who ended up here that I guess weren't completely normal. You see, there was one woman who her milk dried up after her 5th and 6th child, and in a desperate attempt to stop her baby from crying and starving, she cut its throat. She ended up here.
Right, so then we went into the actual building itself. This is the women's section, and a lot of these ladies didn't deserve to be there at all, and you could feel that in the rooms and the atmosphere of confusion of why am I here? Why did my partner just send me here? I got no idea, and all that kind of thing, you know. It wasn't a nice feeling. There was certainly a very angry presence in that building, and yeah, it really affected me. It affects me today still, actually. So I wasn't very well protected when we went into Aradale. I do have a tattoo of a cross on my arm, but because there's a flower over it, if you can see here, yeah, with the flower it's not a full cross, so it didn't actually protect me as well as I'd hoped. So I experienced quite a bit that my friends with me didn't actually experience themselves. Some experienced similar, but more dull than what I experienced myself. So we're heading through the building, and we go past these glass panels and stuff like that. Now, if you pause the video again, in the, I think, yeah, the last window in the middle, I see a face. Leave a comment down below if you see the face. I even saw it in person, and yeah, it's daunting. It's really daunting. Now we're in one of the nurses' bits, and I took a photo. Now, mind you, my flash wasn't working on my phone because of the battery was low. This is actually, I think, the last photo I took myself. Yeah, the flash wasn't on, and there was a lantern on, but that was well and truly back behind me, so it shouldn't have made this. But just a normal light wouldn't make that. Now, have a look at it for a little bit and write a comment what you think it is down below. So we actually walked into the ballroom, and immediately all I felt was sadness and confusion, because these lunatics in the asylum at the time, they're not lunatics, I'm just going to refer to them as lunatics. They were actually forced to dance. Back in the day, if you couldn't dance, you were actually classed as insane. Now, I got a few friends that can't dance for the life of them. I can't dance for the life of me. So yeah, we'd all be stuck in an insane asylum because we couldn't friggin' dance. This whole ballroom, it looks absolutely stunning, but it's filled with sadness and confusion, and it wasn't a nice place. So from the ballroom, I looked down a corridor and I saw a shadow man. He was just peering out like he was looking at us. I felt that he was full of hatred, and I would class this presence as evil. Then our tour guide walked down the corridor, because the corridor walked into the kitchen. I immediately had heart palpitations. I started to sweat. Yeah, so we're in the kitchens, and you could just... It's kind of like a silence, I guess. So we went out to another courtyard, and we walked down a hill to the morgue. So then we went into the morgue, and oddly enough, this was the most quietest place in the whole thing. It didn't really affect me too much. Maybe because they were already dead when they were in there, because they didn't actually die in the morgue. It's just a weird thing to think of. So then once we got out of the morgue, we were faced with the ha-ha wall. The ha-ha wall is a trick wall. So it looks like you could jump over it, but once you get closer, you can't. It's about 10 foot tall, or a bit bigger. And yeah, there was a lot of inmates that tried to escape. There was actually a couple that did escape, but was soon picked up afterwards. So now we're in the courtyard again, and the tour guide brings us over to the brickwork. As you can see by this photo, the patients used to sit and carve at the bricks. There was this one man in there that actually, he was a racehorse trainer, and he was teaching a lady friend how to ride. As you do, so he slapped the back of the horse, and there it took off, and she fell off and bashed her head. Now, he ended up getting PTSD. The woman actually didn't die, but the man got PTSD because of the traumatic stress it brought. And he ended up in the asylum, and yeah, he sat there for months carving this out with just stones. It's a bit sad, really, isn't it? So this photo is from the electrotherapy room. In this room, I felt like electric currents just running through your body. It's made the hairs on your body stand up. So after the electrotherapy, you were sat there and made to look out over Ararat. This is really cruel, because then you basically mush after electrotherapy. So you sat there to think think of what the outside looks like and what you can never have. This is extremely cruel and wouldn't have wished it upon anyone. So we actually went into a few rooms through this tour. One in particular, we walked in and all of a sudden I started to get this splitting headache. And the tour guide actually asked us if any of us needed to step out because it was overwhelming or anything like that to do so now. And I'm not ashamed to say that I had to leave. I did. My headache was almost causing me to vomit, and yeah, I had to leave. So it wasn't until after they all got out that she said, "Do you know why you needed to leave?" And I'm like, "No, I just had a splitting headache." And she goes, "Do you know why you had a splitting headache?" And I said, "No, I don't." And she goes, "That's the lobotomy room. That's where people go to get lobotomies." And she goes, "It's not uncommon that people will feel uneasy." It's a bit creepy in my book. So this brings us to the end of the tour, and we pass through these gates. And yeah, so that was it. Okay, guys. So with the tour that we were on, I kept seeing apparitions. Now, an apparition is a full body figment of a ghost, basically. It's haunting. It's actually still haunting me now. It's really affected me in a way where it really caused me to get angry and sad and confused. Now this actually followed me home, and I'm still getting mad for no reason. And looking through the photos, it actually causes me to get more angry, sorry. And yeah, the whole experience, I wouldn't do it again. Not unless I had proper protection and so on. But it's not a nice place to go to. It's very haunting. If you are a definite believer, don't go. If you're a skeptical, please take caution before you actually go. So this actually ends my video for today. Hope it scared you a little, because it scared me. I'll do anything to make a video, hey? If you liked it, do give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit me up in the comments. I will message you guys back. Don't forget to leave a comment saying what you've seen in any of the photos. Just let me know which photo it was, and I'll have a look. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that little notification bell so you are notified every time I upload. Alright guys, until next time, I will see you guys in the next video.